Today we will get into these other things called math mode, adding figures, bibliography and beamer. Most important slide for math mode. Two ways in which you can insert math mode. Only two ways. One is you put a US dollar, $2 exactly 2. If you put 3, 100 errors. Okay, so just put $2. Anything in between what you write will be treated as an equation, math mode. It will activate math mode in that time. $2 in between something should be written. You cannot have an empty math mode. Okay. Or alternate way is you put this something called begin equation and end equation. In between you write your equation, and equation only supports a single line equation. Okay. So no empty lines when you are using begin equation and end equation. Make sure everything you are writing is on a single line. Okay. Because this is only for a single line equation. And in this case, if you want math mode to be activated, the package is AMS math. So just declare the package saying use package AMS math. And instead of equation, there are many other keywords like equivalent, array, align, split, which we'll see the example in the next slide. So right now, just note these 2 points. Just write in your thing US dollar, A US dollar. Go to next line, write begin equation, enter A, enter end equation. Just write this. Okay, and hit run. You should see A and A. Nothing else will come. Just simple 2 A's will come on the right hand side. Just write this. Written. All of you are written. Just write simple. And one mistake which most people do, and that's the only error we'll be getting on these slides, is you will activate 2 math modes simultaneously. Okay. So if you are inside begin equation, US dollar cannot be used inside begin equation. Okay. As a character you can use, but not for activating the math mode, because you are inside begin equation, you are already inside the math mode. You cannot activate 2 math modes simultaneously. Okay. Only one you have to activate. And this is the only error people make in this slide. Right? So all of you are written. Just write US dollar, A US dollar. Next line write begin equation, A, end equation. Just hit run. You should get 2 A's on the right hand side. If you have noticed, one A would have come in the text, simple, and other A would have come with the equation number, right? Okay. So if you have actually noticed, begin equation would have given an equation number. Just take your mouse on the right hand side, scroll down on the right hand side, you will see one equation number on the right hand side. That is one difference between normal US dollar math mode and equation mode. So one includes the equation numbers, other doesn't give an equation number. Right? Now these are the way you write the variables inside math mode. These commands work only inside the math mode. Okay. So either you use them within $2 or you use them within begin equation and end equation. Right? Use them in one of them. If you want to write multiple times math mode or multiple equations, all you do is just write begin equation, write your equation, end equation, again activate it. Again do begin equation, again do end equation. Right? You can use it as many times as you want. Even within one line also you can multiple times activate it. Only thing is it should come in pairs. That is the only condition, right? Just try this. All of this just try inside math mode. Okay, all of you activate the colors. In TechWorks, just go to what is that, typeset I think. Format or typeset. Just activate colors. So if you do wrongly, you know ki command is not valid. Again I will repeat this. You just have to put first US dollar, write as many things as you want. Once you close the US dollar, math mode is closed. Anything outside is outside the math mode, and none of these commands will work in the non-math mode, right? Text mode. Other option is begin equation, end equation. In between you can write whatever you want. If you close the end equation, you are gone. You are back to the text mode. Okay, there it will never work. And equation doesn't support multi-lines. So right now we'll see how to write multi-lines in the next slide. Don't jump. Okay. If you write, even if you write on the multiple lines here in equation, it will come in the same line, right? Most of you would have got it that way. Equation is only for one line, right? Okay. These are all math symbols. So all of them work only inside the math mode. Okay. So just try this, some of them. Try any of them. So if you want to write, so one difference I forgot to tell in these 2 modes. Okay. These 2 things. One is when you use US dollars, that is generally used when you are writing something within a text. Okay, within a text you are writing about variables or any small equations you are writing within the text, that time you use this $2, that is like a quick math mode. So you just enable it and disable it. It will come on the same line with the same font. If you want to take it on the new line as an independent equation, you generally use this any of these begin end commands. Okay, and by default this will also come with a number because they are coming on a new line. They will also come with a number, and you can also refer it in the text. Like you want to refer some equation, you can also refer it. So we'll see referring in the subsequent slides. But if you put as a $, then you cannot refer it because that is already within a text only, right? So there you cannot refer it. So this is the main difference. And you will actually see the font size also. We will see some of the comments. We will see the font size for text mode, math mode inside text is very small. It aligns with the text font. And this one you can make it big also if you want, right? Right? Just try this. And you don't have to by heart this because if you just put in Google, you will get this table ready-made, right? Just try this. So generally in text you want to include these Greek characters. Simple way is just enable a math mode, put $2, put this / alpha, you get alpha in the text. Very simple. Just try 2-3 of them. It should come on the right hand side. So there are capital, small. This one is having only small. Kya? There are capitals. Capital are there below. Yeah. So small pi is pi and capital pi is p is capital. First character is capital. That is a capital pi. It is as simple as that. And if you do write something wrong, if you make a spelling mistake in this, all it will do is it will say ki this is unknown to me, like this Greek character I cannot recognize. So there are only some standard characters with that name only that it will recognize, right? Others it won't. So, right? How many of you have not got a single Greek character on the right hand side? Not got a single Greek character on the right hand side. Right hand side is my PDF, okay? Right? This is for writing the equations. Any of the symbols you want to use, just use this command. So generally less than, greater than is direct symbol on the keyboard, but if you want to use less than or equal to, you always use this /LEQ or LE also works. So you can use LE or LEQ. Subset, like these are for sets and all. So subset, superset, whatever. Bunch of symbols. Again, all of these are math symbols. So they work inside math mode, right? Outside math, they have no meaning. If you just write like in a text, it will just say ki invalid command, right? Just try 1 or 2 of them. And again, you don't have to buy out this because you just Google, you get, right? Okay, simple. Some more. Try one of these right hand side. Your what is that? Playing card symbols. One of these you can try. Again, these are inside math mode. All of this. So these generally this L dots, C dots, V dots, D dots. These are generally used when you are to write matrix. Right? You write matrix, you write no first 2 terms and you write dot 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 the remaining terms. Or in equation also you want to write multiple terms. This L dot, V dot, C dot, these are the terms which are used. So it inserts exactly 3 dots and it will give the last term, you can write like that. So other than that, others are just symbols. If you use them, you get them, right? Very simple. So if you want to get this, when you write this set of real numbers, you write double R and, right? How many from mathematics here? Okay, good. So you write this real line and all, na? R, C, like that. So that is also possible in this. The package is AMS SIM SYMB, and the command is /MATH VB in curly bracket capital R. So it gives the real symbol there. So that you can search it out, you can get it. Like it's not that difficult. That is all possible in this, right? Okay, some more equations. So try this command. So x raised to a, that is like a raised to symbol, superscript, subscript. You can do combination of both. You just have to put a proper curly brackets and you can do combination of both. And summation is for writing summation signs. You can have fractions. So fractions is /frac, curly bracket first whatever you want to write, that is a numerator, and then followed by a denominator. Inside that again you can make double fraction and all these possibilities. You can use nested fracs and all that, right? So just try them, and all of these again inside math mode. Okay, so try them inside $, also try them inside begin equation, end equation in a single line equation right now. By the way, whenever it gives the error, it gives the line number and it precisely tell you what is the error. Okay, so it would have given a keyword key, this error keyword I am not recognizing, so means something is wrong there, right? And mostly you can recognize from the colors actually. Your colors will not become proper. So for those of you who are in Windows and they have basic version, or if you have get any kind of this thing like package is missing or package is not installed, so one way to automatically install from net is you just have to tell it ki take it from my internet. So connect to your internet, okay, just go to this package manager, right, open the package manager from start, just open the package manager and just go to repository and say change my repository, just give this here packages from internet, create a session in browser on internet.iitb.ac.in, okay, and inside connection setting give no proxy, by default it should be no proxy, right. So just click next. If the net is connected, it shows you a list of servers from which you can take the data, okay. Now IIT Bombay is one of the repositories for this LaTeX and even for Linux and all, so you can also select Indian server or IIT Bombay also you can select. If you want, you can also select any of the other servers. Just select that server, say OK. So what it will do is, it will sync your versions with those, and it knows if the package is missing, it will install it on the go. So once you do this, next time you are running your code, in case some package is missing, all it will do is, it will just give you a message saying I am going to internet and getting this package for you, and it will get it on the run for your system. Only once it will do that, and it will be installed with your system or permanently, okay. So once it comes back, your code will run from that point only, okay. One problem with this is, if it doesn't connect to net properly and it goes to internet for getting the package and you by chance break the operation, okay, you halt the operation. So generally the way the softwares work is, whenever they are going to internet, they lock your text file, okay, because they don't want anyone else to modify it on the way, because it is trying to get something from internet and trying to sync it. So if you do break the operation, your text file gets locked with the program, and after that you cannot run that text file until you unlock it, and only way to unlock is restart your system, okay, because it gets locked with the OS, okay. It says, it will keep giving a message, I am unable to write or I am unable to compile, okay. Alternate way to get through this is, just copy the file, paste it, create a new file, that is a new file, so you can open that. Once your system restart is done, your original file will be unlocked, so you can use that, right. So that is the way. So those of you will get file access denied error. This error will also come when you are opening this PDF with some other viewer, okay. If you are not using this viewer, many times if you open with some other reader, many times some of these readers, earlier versions of the readers used to lock this file, okay, so that no one else edits it, right. And here when you are running it, you are actually editing the file, PDF file. So earlier versions of PDF readers used to lock the file, and it will again give an error saying PDF is been opened by somebody else, I cannot override it, because the other program doesn't allow it to open. But if you open with this default readers, they can keep the PDF open also, and they can overwrite also, and they will reload also on its own, okay. And this limitation is removed in most of the newer versions now. So newer versions of PDF readers and all, even if you open here inside this, if you open it in those readers also, everything is completed, okay. They don't lock it nowadays, but earlier versions they used to lock it, okay. So those of you who have used begin equation, end equation, you would have seen one equation number would have appeared on the right hand side. One way to remove this equation number is use a star. So when you are using the command, you just use begin equation star, end equation star. If you just put one star, the equation numbers will disappear only for that particular equation, okay. There is a way to get multi-line equations. The command is, there are many commands for this. One of them is equivalent array, other is align, there is split, there is multi-line, and 3-4 others. There are many of them in fact, okay. Anyone you can use, everyone have a different purpose actually, okay. They are used for a purpose. Most famous, and I use it very often, is this align, okay. I use the align command for a very simple reason, it gives me alignment. So like when you are writing multiple equations one below each other, you want all of them to be aligned in a specific way with respect to some equal to sign, which is most of the times the purpose, right. So you can use this for aligning. And when you are writing multi-line equations, if you put align star, align star, beginning align star or end align star, numbers will disappear for all of them, but inside that if you want only few lines should not have equation number but other lines should have the equation number, the way to do is you put begin align, put end align. Whenever you are putting double slash, just before the double slash you just put no number, backslash no number. So if you put that, that particular line will not be having the equation number. Okay. And the way get multi-line equation is when you are using align, just put a double slash in the end. Okay. Double slash is the character for new line which works inside the math mode. Okay. And I think I have one example for this, so just try this directly outside. Just try this. And vertical align character is and. And is the character that will align. So all the places where this and is coming, that will get vertically aligned. Make sure there is only equal number of ands in each row. Okay, in each line, because ands are aligned. So if you put one and in first line, if you put two ands in second line, the compiler gets confused which and has to be aligned, because it wants exactly those many number of aligns. So make sure number of ands that come in the equation are equal in each row. You can put two ands in first, two ands in second, that is allowed, but don't put unequal number of ands in different rows. Okay, as long as you are careful on that, this should work. So just try this. So right now I have put only one and, right? So you just try this and just check what you get. By the way, I should thank some of these people. If these people don't make the errors, now nobody will learn. Okay, I like these people because they make errors and everyone learns. Okay, so we should think everything positively. So one more mistake, they have done begin equation, begin align, written something, end equation, end align. Activated two math modes simultaneously. Align is an independent math mode activator, equation is independent, US dollar is independent. No two math modes work simultaneously. Only one you have to activate at a time. Okay. No, equation array will not support alignment, and align is one, that's why I use it very frequently. If you don't want to use alignment character, you can ignore the ands. If you write without ands, they are all equations by default center aligned. Okay, without any alignment, all are center aligned. So this is the only command that will also allow alignment, that will also allow centering both. So if you don't want to have alignment, you can use it as it is without any and character. Okay, equation numbers, how to change the equation numbers. Okay, so the way these numbers are defined, okay, if you are in a chapter 1, the numbers will automatically from 1.1, 1.2, and the one that defines these numbers is your report class file. Okay, we started with a report, right? So inside the report class file, this will be defined how should equation numbers come. Those of you who have written this in appendix equations, they would have got number as a.1.1, a.1.2, because appendix are numbered a.1 and dot the equation number. Okay, so these are automatic, you cannot change that. It's extremely impossible and extremely difficult to change this style. Okay, because I'll show you one code, typically how a class file is written. Okay, even I find it very difficult to read, forget editing it. Okay, forget doing it my own way. Even editing that becomes really difficult, because for you it is easy writing one command. The way it has to run when you are writing some set of equations, every character that you will be writing, it has to define in the class file how should it come on the right hand side. So the way one typical class file is written for even one command, it will be like some 100 lines of code for just one command. And to make out which character is talking about and which thing it is talking about, it is very difficult to make out. Okay, so only simple things you can do is, if you recognize these keywords called date or author, these lines you can comment or you can change, these you can alter, because these are easily recognizable, right? But other things you should not tamper with, generally you should not avoid. Okay, and in fact default class files you should never edit it, because if you edit little bit it may not work. Generally it is not recommended also. Okay. Okay, so arrays are written again inside the math mode. So just try this. This is for writing arrays. Just try this. So in arrays what you do is, there is something called begin equation, end equation, begin array, end array, and what you give after begin array is the alignment character for columns. Okay, so what I have written is L, C and R. So L is for left alignment, R is for right alignment, C is for center alignment, and the way you write array elements, okay, is you write first element. space you put a and, so and will shift the next thing to the next column, okay, and once you are done with one row you just put a double slash, you go to the second row and again you put and all, and because this is inside the math mode, all of your whatever previously we have done, all of these are applicable, okay. So you can use any combinations of math mode characters you want, and the number of ands in each row should be same, okay. So this is we're having 4 and characters means 5 columns, okay. So make sure every column is having 4 and characters, and if you have 4 and characters means it is 5 columns, you have to define 5 alignment characters. So that's what we have done. So if you have noticed, the first column has come left aligned in the output, second is right aligned, third is center, fourth is right aligned, fifth is right aligned, right, and number of characters there should be equal to number of ands plus 1, okay, right, number of columns, right, and LCR is just 3 characters, you can make as many combinations, like you can all center, all right, everything you can do, right. This is just one example, just try this. Again I will repeat, don't activate 2 math modes simultaneously. Begin equation array, begin equation, doesn't work. Equation array is a math mode, equation is a math mode, don't activate 2 simultaneously. So one thing I forgot to tell you in one of my previous slides, okay, if you want to get a matrix, what you do is you put a square bracket outside, okay, that becomes a matrix. Unfortunately, the bracket size will be small, like your proper text size bracket, okay, you want a bigger bracket. So the way to do this is, you just put backslash left and open a square bracket, and when you are outside end array, you just put after that backslash right and you just put a right bracket. If you do that, it will give you the bigger brackets. So difference between just using normal square bracket, even for curly brackets, if you use backslash curly bracket and backslash other curly bracket, the curly brackets are smaller. So if you want to create bigger curly brackets, the command is backslash left backslash opening curly bracket. On the right hand side you write backslash right backslash second curly bracket, okay. If you do that, the curly bracket sizes are automatically adjusted according to the content that is inside it, okay. Just try this. So after begin equation, just put backslash left, put any bracket you want, opening bracket, you can put round, square, curly, whatever you want. After end array, just put it before end equation, okay, and these two have to match, it is always in matching pairs, okay. Just try getting the brackets. Backslash left square bracket, backslash right square bracket. So before begin array, just write backslash left and square bracket, left left. So we are done with math mode. This is all you need from math mode, okay. It's just some combination of this you have to use, okay, it's just some combination of this. I have till now very rarely gone beyond this, only 1 or 2 extra commands are there which I use beyond this, which you can figure it out yourself, but if you use this, that is most of time more than sufficient for you to use, okay, you don't need anything beyond this, okay. Now we are outside the math mode, text mode, how to get tables. So one example is you can use backslash table or begin table I think, or generally I use this tabular, okay. So begin tabular, end tabular, again alignment characters for table, so characters are LRC, okay, same combination, any combination you can make. The and is same, and is for going to the next column, only 2 differences here or 1 difference here. If you want to get a vertical line, the character is a vertical line character that is just below the backspace, right, on the keyboard you have backspace, one vertical line character is there, right? So you just put that character. So if you put that character, at that particular column one line is inserted. If you want double line, you just put that character 2 times. If you put that, you will get a double line for that column, after that column. And second is the horizontal line, so the command is h line. So wherever you will put backslash h line, it will insert a horizontal line, okay. So as you can see in this, I start with a begin tabular, first is L, so first column should be left aligned, followed by a vertical character, so that will create a vertical line after the first column, followed by C which is a center alignment for the second column, followed by R, which is the right alignment for the third column. When I close this, after that I start with backslash H line, which means table will start with a horizontal line. Then I write 1, 2, 3, I give a new line, it goes to the second column. I write 4, 5, 6, I get 4, 5, 6. Then I write new line, and here I give one more H line. So one H line is one horizontal line it will draw. I write 7, 8, 9, I close this and again I write H line. I say one more line at the end. Okay. And if you are more than one horizontal lines, you just put this 2 times. So backslash H line, space, backslash H line. So you will get a double line border, right? Just try this. And this is outside math mode. This is a normal, okay, text mode. You don't need any package, directly it should work. See, LaTeX will never lie to you, okay. Whatever you will give, that only it will give. It will not do anything on its own. Sometimes you just have to believe it. Okay, so we are done with equations, we are done with tables. Most interesting part, and this is sometimes a blunder, is inserting images. So do this first. Go to your text code, text file, write this line called backslash use package graphics, GRAPHICX, GRAPHICX, write it. Okay, use package graphics, GRAPHICX, right, before begin document. Okay, graphics is the package needed, it is not there in the basic version. So right, graphics, GRAPHICX. Okay, all of you are written. Next step, go to your anywhere in your directory somewhere, get one image, copy it, JPG image preferably, copy it to a folder where you have your text file. Okay, right now where is your text file? Just copy that file there, rename it to say image1.jpg. Okay, image1, the image name should not have spaces, you can use underscore, that is allowed. Okay, so give name image1.jpg. Okay, JPG, PDF, LaTeX supports everything almost, right? All of you got the image? Who has not got? Not got the image? Get it? My pictures, huh? Click it with your camera, huh? Take screenshot. How to take a screenshot button is there. Use packages before begin document. Use package line before begin document. Just take one image, get it to the same folder where your text file, rename it to image1.jpg. Okay. All of you got the image? Got the image? Just try the last line. Go to my computer and get some image from somewhere. Okay. How many got the image? How many got the image on the right hand side? Got the image on the right hand side? Not proper. Will come. I'll come. How many got the image on the right hand side? Got the image. All of this will stand right now. Stand. Okay, so you could get it working. Now help others. Yeah, just put a use package graphics GRAPHICX in the before begin document and take any file from your my computer, get it to this folder where your text file is, rename it to image1.jpg. Okay, simple. And then just try this last line. And you can play with the scale. Scale equal to something, some other number you can put and play. Right? How many of you are using share LaTeX? That is like unnecessarily creating complications when we don't want to. Those who have got into trouble called JPG and JPEG and they are trying to figure it out, do one thing, take your image, right click, open with your genius called MS Paint, go to file, do save as, and when you do save as, just give name.jpg, just write JPG and then you run it, it should work. Okay, so the way we use this command is backslash include graphics GRE, PHS, CS. In square bracket you have to give attributes. So attributes are something properties to the figure. Typical attributes are your width, height, scale, angle. So width is in your centimeter, inches, point, whatever units we saw yesterday. Height is the same. Scale is it will scale the entire image by that factor, retaining the aspect ratio. Angle is it will rotate in degrees, whatever. So if you give angle equal to 90, it will rotate clockwise 90 degrees. Okay. And these are the attributes. You can give comma and you can give multiple attributes also. Okay, that is also allowed. You can give scale equal to 0.5, comma, angle equal to 90. That is also allowed. It will apply both. Now some of you have got lots of empty space. Okay, white space above and below image. The reason is your original image would be having the white space, and it retains those white spaces. Okay, so the way you generally do is whatever your image is, make sure when you are opening with a external reader, make sure the content is exactly that much. Okay, there are no white space in the original image. Okay, and this error will typically come when you are importing PDFs. Okay, when you take screenshots or importing PDFs by default are in A4 pages. Even if your image is small, there are always empty spaces in PDF. So generally what you do is in that is you change the PDF and make it a small PDF. Okay, by default PDF sizes are A4 typically what we do, right? So these problems come generally when you are importing PDFs, right? Right? Because that white space has gone outside the page. The image became sufficiently big that you are not able to see the white space outside it. So thing is, if you don't use a scale, okay, when you are not using scale, by default it will import the entire image as it is. Okay, when you try to scale it, what it will do is it will try to fit a boundary outside your image, and based on the boundary it will scale, do the scaling. Okay, and when it is fitting that boundary, the problem will come whether it is able to recognize the edges of your image. So wherever it detects the edges, if it doesn't detect the edges, by default it will go to A4. If it couldn't, it will go to A4. And if you don't use scale, your image is as it is, it will take. There is no boundary fitting done in that case. Right? Huh? Not coming. Go to image, open with Paint, go to file, save as, save it with 1.jpg. I will just come. Package name may be wrong. Right? With this we only included the image. Now we have to decorate the image. Okay. So the way you do decoration is using command called begin figure. Okay. So you just do begin figure, end figure. Okay. Start with a begin figure followed by something called placement specifier. So it is like within a page you are having the image, where should that image appear. Okay. It defines this. So the characters typically they are allowed are this. Generally I use capital H or small h with an exclamation mark. So that is the most frequently used, and it says forget everything else, put it where my command is right now. Okay. So generally we use this command H followed by exclamation mark. That is a specifier where the figure will come. Followed by next line you put this include graphics command, whatever we had earlier command, you just put that command. Followed by backslash caption. Caption is caption for a figure. So when you are putting in a report figure, you want a caption below, right? So captions are inserted automatically along with its numbering. Okay. So you will get right like figure 1.1 with a caption whatever you are given here. That is done automatically. Followed by something called label, which is used for referencing. So we will see one example of label in the next slide. Right. So when you are referring to a figure, you need to use this label command. So right. You can try this. Write begin figure, write square bracket capital H, write include graphics command, just copy paste it, put backslash caption, put some caption, backslash label, put some label, end figure, and just run it. Your same figure will come on the right hand side, only difference will be this time it will come with a caption. And because we are decorating it, after begin figure you can also put backslash begin centering, begin center, end center, or backslash centering. If you do that, your figures are center aligned. If you want to get right aligned, left aligned, after begin figure you just put that. So that particular environment will be aligned according to what you have put. Okay. So after begin figure you just put backslash centering or backslash begin center, put end center, right? So your figure gets center aligned. Anyway by default it is center aligned only, but If you want to get left aligned or right aligned, you can use this command, right? So, right? Any doubts on this? So when you give these attributes, okay, if you write width equal to some number, it cannot make out what is that number, okay, so you have to give it a unit. You just say 30 millimeter or 30 inches or whatever. If you don't give a unit, there is nothing like a default unit. It will just say ki somewhat I have to do, I don't know, so it will keep giving an error, saying I am missing the unit. Label will not come, label is only for referencing. We will come to that example, we will see the example. I generally avoid this, but you can use, if you want to use capital H instead of H and exclamation mark, small h and exclamation mark, it goes into something called floating image, and you need a package called float. So if you want, you just put a backslash use package float and your capital H will also work. Okay. Okay, this is called labeling and referencing. Okay. One of the most useful commands, and one of the reason why LaTeX is preferred over Word, okay, is when you want to refer your equations or anything for that matter, this is done automatically. Numbering is done automatic and referencing is done automatic. You don't have to manually type in any number whatsoever. So the way you do it is, whenever you have the object which you want to refer, object can be your equation, it can be a text, it can be your chapter, it can be table, it can be figure, it can be anything. Okay. Whenever you are activating that part, you just put this command called backslash label followed by a name which has to come uniquely in your document. Okay, this name has to come uniquely in your document, and whenever you want to refer it, all you say is say figure backslash refer ref, and whatever I have put there in label, exactly same thing I will put here, and I will say shows. And so when it compiles and runs this one you have to run it 2 times for a very reason. When it is first time compiling, all it will do is it will make an index of all these label commands, saying wherever my labels are there, because whenever first label has come it has to put 1.1, second label has come it has to put 1.2. So first time when you run it, it will create an index of all these label things wherever they are, and it will assign the numbers, but it won't put it in the PDF. So when you run it second time, these numbers are inserted in the PDF in the place where your this comes. So you will typically get an output like this saying figure 3.1 shows, right? That particular thing is automatically replaced by a number, and the figure will have, whenever you have this caption, there it will automatically write figure 3.1. Okay, that and this is matched automatically as long as that identifier is same. So that identifier defines which figure you are talking about. Many people make this mistake. They will use this, copy paste these commands. By default, you in LaTeX you always copy paste previous commands. You copy paste and you don't rename the identifier. The identifier is also copied. The same identifier has come 2 times. So typically how LaTeX resolves this is, the second identifier is there in the index, and instead of figure 3.4 you will actually get figure 3.7 or something, which is the second time that identifier has come. Okay, and you will say ki my identifier should have given this, but it is giving some other number. So wherever that second figure we have copy pasted, that is where you need to change your identifier. So as long as this identifier comes uniquely, the numbers will come uniquely. Okay, and this is not a convention, but typically it is done because you will have hundreds of identifiers. Just to differentiate among the identifiers, one of the methods used is this. Whenever it is figure, you just put FIG colon and put some number name, so that names become independent. Like you can use the same name for figure also, you can use for section and all these things. So generally this is the method I use, but not a standard. You can use FIG, EQ for equation, table, SEC for section, chapter. These are again my words, you can use your words also. So the moment I am referring also, I myself I know ki when I say CHA colon something, I want to talk about some referencing for a chapter, and right, so I by default numbers will come automatically accordingly. Okay. So but not a convention, you can use anything you want, it is not a standard convention. Instead of FIG you can use complete word figure or anything you can use. As long as you are able to make out what it is your convention. Okay. So just run this 2 times, give label to your figure, avoid spaces, generally spaces are not used in this. Give this label to your figure, previous figure, just put backslash ref, exact same label you use here, run it 2 times, your PDF should have the number. If you are giving label to the equation, you just have to put begin equation, after that put it anywhere before end equation. It is also possible, to label individual equations inside a line. If you have a line, you have multi-line equations, you can put one label line on each of them and you can use it. So you want to label only refer to first equation of the line, you just use that particular label. You can have multiple labels inside a line and all, that is also possible. Every line you can label it as per your convenience. Okay, just try this, your label should come on the right hand side. Just try this once. How many of you got the label on the right hand side correctly? Correctly got. Before end figure or put it in equation. Put it in equation. Go to any of your previous equation. Just put backslash label EQ colon something, and here you just put backslash REF bracket EQ colon something. If you do that, that equation number will come automatically. Whatever equation number will be shown on the right will be shown here. How many got the reference correctly? Correctly. Again I will repeat, wherever your object is, if you are referring to a figure or equation, inside end equation, before end equation you just put this line backslash label followed by one identifier, and wherever you are outside in the text mode, normal text you want to refer it, just put backslash REF followed by your same name, exact name what you have given. Okay, and you run it 2 times, it will replace it with the number automatically. Whatever equation number it had given, exact number will come here on its own. This is one of the biggest advantage of LaTeX. You don't have to do numbering on your own. Second last part is bibliography. Command is begin the bibliography followed by one random number which I never knew what this number was, so I just give some random number called 20. Followed by, like this is like itemize, like you have backslash itemize and big slash item. Here the command is the bibliography slash bib item. Okay, bibliography item followed by a name which is an identifier for that bibliography, that particular item, followed by whatever you want to write. Okay, and when you are referring it, all you have to do is just use backslash cite. Okay, here the command is backslash cite. So again referencing, right? Right now you don't have to copy this. This will get on the internet directly. Okay, same commands. Okay. So the way we saw refer and label, this works. So instead of label, the command was bib item followed by the curly bracket the name, and the command is instead of REF, the command is cite. Okay. So when you do cite in your text, that particular order is automatically detected, and it will detect the first number has to come, and it will number will come automatically. Again for this you have to run it 2 times. Okay. So when I say this paper, this is taken from, I say cite paper 1, it will just come as this takes paper from square bracket 1, and if I change the order there, these numbers are automatically updated. You don't have to worry about ordering. Okay, these orders are taken care automatically. Okay. Before I go to Beamer, I will just show you one thing. The way we created a report, it created a report class file. Typically when you want to write a conference paper or a journal paper, okay, what it will give you is that they will generally give you a template, something called a LaTeX template. All that template is having most of the time is one sample text file, okay, and one class file. Okay, they will give a zip folder generally in which one sample text file and class file will be given. So I have downloaded for one of the IFAC conferences. This is the text file. So typically what this will have is, see, document class, we had a report. Here the document class is IFACCONCF something, IFAC conference. Okay, it will include some packages which you can add on your own packages also. Okay, some default packages you have. Begin document, okay, begin front matter, all these commands you don't have to change, they are there by default. Title, backslash title is a command getting title to your paper. So instead of this paper you just put your name title will come on the right hand side. In author, there is command called backslash author, they will write author 1, change it to your name. Okay, that author name will come on the right hand side. So when you execute this, all you get is a typical standard paper that conference or journal will be having on the right hand side in the same format what typically is accepted by those conferences and journals. Okay, so you don't have to manually do anything, you just get this template and run it. Generally this is recommended, when you get a template, you run it on as it is in your system once and see it is working in default. many times people change something, they run it and they make mistakes in changing that, and they keep blaming that the template given was wrong. It will never happen that any publisher will give a wrong template. It will never happen. Okay, they will always give a tried and tested template that will work in any OS, any software. Okay, they make sure it is working across. Only then they will release it, right? So when you get a template, all you do is you just run it, right? Like I am running right now. Hopefully I have the complete version, so everything should work, and it should generate me a sample paper of that particular conference. Okay, so this is what it gave. With a logo, everything will come. Okay, generally template will have logo, everything. So you can see here middle it shows author 1, author 2, some name. Here what typically will write university name and also, right? So this comes in the standard format of that particular conference. They also give you some standard equations, like what you have to write, how you have to write. So here they will give you how to write introduction, everything, one sample is given. You just change those words to your words, whatever you want to write. One sample of equation they will give, how to write equation numbers, one sample they will give. You just change that, copy that their code, paste it, write your equation. As many times you can copy paste it. And everything is standard format, okay. And the way this is recognized is there is something called as a class file for this. Like we had a report.cls, this one will have ifconf.cls, and you can try opening it, but never ever think of editing it. Okay, so this is the typical class file. If you notice, most of the standard files that are generated by any company or anyone, they will always start with 100 lines of comments, because they want to make sure when the person changes, they want to make sure that the other person understands what is written. So they will always start with comments. So you can see this is a class file generated by something, original source file names, what are the previous version, 100 comments they will write, and here they have written this date format and all. Okay, this is the file date, file version, journal, what is the name of the journal. These are like definition is like a definition. You define some variables. Here the variable name is file date, with some date they have put, and whenever they will be calling it, they will use this called file date. Whenever they will use it in their main thing, they will use file date. So anywhere file date appears, this value will be replaced automatically. That's how they generally write these files. And if you want to change it, if you recognize it, you can change it. And only way to recognize is by these numbers that it gives. Okay, so generally these numbers sometimes help you, but for standard documents you should never ever edit these files. If you want to play with it and try it on your own, what you do is you just do file and save as, rename it to some other name .cls, change your document type to that name, and then play whatever you want, so that your original is not affected. Okay, okay. So if you want to play and try on your own, you can just rename it and then play whatever you want. You can just try. Worst case, what will happen is it will say I cannot recognize what you are saying. Okay, that's the only thing that will happen. And what it will give is a question marks, right? So something similar, there will be class file for your report also, right? So last part of the talk, this is my Beamer presentation. Many people I have seen doing this. They will make entire report in LaTeX and presentation in PowerPoint. How many of you have done that before? Okay, not done. Okay, good. You will be saved from this only. So if you are done report in LaTeX and if you are doing presentation in PowerPoint, all the equations, everything you will have to rewrite it, right? And it is total waste of time, right? Many people think Beamer is difficult, okay, and it is almost impossible. That is what the review is. Okay, this is one slide. What is Beamer? Okay, give some claps for this slide. One slide. This is Beamer. Okay. So those of you who will tell you Beamer is very difficult, just take screenshot of this if you want and show it this slide to them. So here are the changes. Document type changes to Beamer with B capital. B is capital? I think yes. Beamer with B capital. Because it is a presentation, you have to define it as a mode called presentation. Right now you don't have to type this. I will tell you one shortcut way of getting this. Okay. Mode called presentation, in theme called Versova. This is a default theme, and what presentation right now we are seeing is in the Versova theme. Okay. So all, if you want to get different colors and different themes, all you have to change is this name here, and again these themes come with its own class files. Okay. So again when you go to net, it will give you some other themes means it will give one class file that will have a name. So instead of Versova, you just put that name, that particular format will come on its own. Okay, you don't have to worry. These colorings are all defined in that. How should the top color come, what should be written on the top from your thing, right? That is automatic. Second, the option, we use the same option for making the PDF. Typically, you have slides there, here it is called frame. So the way you create new frames is \begin frame, \end frame. Everything in between begin frame, end frame is one particular slide. Okay, begin frame, end frame. Generally itemize is used as it is, right? Generally most frequently used. Pause is used if you want to like have some content, you want to pause it at that point. So you want one key to be pressed to go ahead. So command is pause. So you just put a pause, it will create a pause there, it will wait there. So once you press a key, the presentation will move in, right? So this is the simple thing. Now I could have told this at the start, but it might have made you a little lazy. So I am telling you right now. Go to file, all of you go to file, click something called new from template. Kyle users also can click new from template. Okay, and we started with a first line called document class, which none of you had to write because all these templates are already available in LaTeX. Okay, most of the software, these templates are already given. Okay, so just go to a Beamer presentation, take any template, say conference, 20-minute conference template. Okay, just open this, and as soon as you open something new, the colors disappear, so get your colors back. And if you have noticed, that's what it is saying. So your document class is Beamer, B is small, and see, it would have given \include presentation Versova, something transparent, which I don't know. These are the fonts that it is using, fonts, some packages, times and all. Right? So the way you do frames, these presentations are, you just open this theme, save it with your name, whatever name you want, whatever report you have written, go to that, take all the use package lines that you have, just copy all of them and paste it here, so that whatever packages the document was using, your Beamer will also start using. Okay, because those are the packages needed for your commands. And all you do is, you just put, after you do begin document, okay, there is something called \title slide, title frame, I think. Okay, this is the first page and all. So begin section, begin table of contents. So first slide is begin document. After that there is something called begin frame and \title page. So this is the front page, what you saw at the start of the presentation, right? So we just write this, and whatever it has taken, that author, it will take automatically, everything, that format will come automatically. And table of contents will come automatically. And you can define chapter section again in this also. Chapters are generally not defined, only sections and subsections are defined. And below you have something called begin frame. Where is begin frame? Begin frame is there. So begin frame has to be followed in first curly bracket, the first title of the frame. Okay, so begin frame followed by a title, that is the first title on the top for the frame. Again one more curly bracket, that is the second title. So one title will come on top, there is a second title, that is subtitle for the frame. If you don't want the title, just put an empty bracket. If you put empty bracket, there is no second subtitle. These are the titles, and then you just put below, you just put \end frame. Anything else you want to write, you write in between this. Okay, and this you can use it multiple times. Everything that you write before begin and end frame is part of that particular frame. Okay, and all the commands we have seen that work in report, work in Beamer as it is, without a single change. Okay, all the commands, you don't have to change a single command. So those of you who have opened their default template, just try running it, just save it and run it. I don't know what is untied. If all packages, everything is installed, you should get one presentation on the right. Just try running it. So because this is running for the first time, it will take a lot of time because everything has to be compiled. Generally LaTeX compilers are smart enough, it will recognize what are the changes you have done. So this is the first presentation that has come, and in this case the referencing will not be there because I have run it only once. Wherever reference are there, it would have created index only right now. So if you want to get numbers, all you do is run it again. If you run it again, the numbers will also come. Whatever referencing we have done, those numbers will come. And because I am doing it again second time, I am doing the numbers this time, it has taken more time. If I do it third time, it will just smartly say that nothing much has changed. So it will run and it will say done. So this is a 23 slide presentation. It has taken some 12 seconds on my small laptop. So you can imagine how fast the compiler works, right? So this I already told, open some sample presentation. These are the references. This site, one of the most genius sites called tech.stackexchange.com. Stack Exchange is a general site, okay, it has subsections for separate things. So there is a subsection for Linux, there is section for maths, there is section for tech, LaTeX. Only tech subsection is having only 50,000 questions right now, okay, only 50,000 questions. And if you do come up with some other new question that is not in this, you can also create your own free account on this and you can post it. Most of the time the reply is, look at this question. Okay, there will be some genius out there who will reply to you within generally some 10-15 minutes somebody will reply, because this is one of the largest source on LaTeX, and somebody will reply saying look at this question, and that question will have answers below. Just try those answers, okay. All the content whatever I have in the slides is taken from this wiki book. Just go to this wiki book on LaTeX. There is a ebook, you can download the PDF. Those of you who have the zip file, it is there in that also. All the commands are taken from there, okay. There are these other sites which are having also equal questions, answers. You can put questions on this, okay. Generally, when you are doing a search, okay, in Google, the keyword is LaTeX, okay. So when you are searching anything, how to write multi-line equation, just put multi-line equation, put a word called LaTeX. So Google search engine recognizes this word called LaTeX. Even for Linux and other things this works. So it recognizes LaTeX, and only among LaTeX sources it will give you. And most likely, like when you search a normal search, the way Wikipedia is given as the first priority, this text search, this Stack Exchange URL is given the first priority, okay. So generally this will come in the first. One thing to note, whenever they will give the solutions, most of the solutions are tried and tested and working. There are moderators who run these commands and check that it is a working solution. So whenever you get some such solution, they will give you instructions saying use this package and then try this command. So follow that, just put the use package and follow that. Before running it, just run their own commands, okay. Many people do this, they will copy paste and they are in so much hurry, they will edit it, they will run it and it doesn't run, and they will blame the site ki site gave the wrong answer, when the mistake is in their own editing. So whenever you are running it, first copy paste, run it, make sure it is coming what is they have given, and it has to work, okay, it is tried and tested. Once you are done, you copy paste again and then make your edits and compare what changes you have done. It gives the error, you know ki what is the error, okay. So you can very easily make out what is the error, right. So today and yesterday we learned 5 to 50%. For some of you will be doing severe work, this might be 5%. For most of you this should be 25 to 30%. For some of you it might be 50%. Rest it is up to you. You just try searching the commands, try them in your LaTeX, right. Remember, this is just the beginning. Ask my God whom I believe the most, Google God, right. Google is there for everything. And happy LaTeXing and all the best, and thank you.